Hey everybody, Motorport59 here. Going to talk a little bit about what's going on in France right now with the forced increase in retirement age. I didn't pay any attention to exactly when this is going to go into effect, but I would assume sometime soon. Their retirement age it was 62, they're going to move it up to 64. Hey France, stop whining. In the United States, the current retirement age for people born before 1960, like me, is 65. The retirement age for anyone born in 1960 or after is 67. I didn't pay into Social Security. Well, I did, but I didn't pay enough into it over the span of my adult life to qualify for any kind of Social Security benefits. I'll get no money from them. I won't be involved in any Social Security stuff. So I was able to retire at 60 through my company on their pension plan. And a lot of people do that. And France probably has a lot of industries or companies or corporations that do the same. Now, a lot of France's industry is nationalized, which is not the case in the United States. So I'm not sure if those people are going to be locked into those who work for nationalized corporations like Airbus, companies like that. And but the people they're destroying government property, they're trespassing, they're destroying private property, they're rioting, they're causing all kinds of problems, they're blocking freeways, and it's ridiculous. It just proves how spoiled people get by government handouts, by government programs. And while France isn't a full-on socialist country, it is one of the countries. It has a market economy, not a free market economy like the United States has, but it is a market economy, but it does have a lot of social programs. Those people pay higher taxes than we pay in America, and it's I don't know. I kind of understand these people. I looked into it, and it looks like the French retirement package, as far as their monetary benefits when they retire, are comparable to Social Security in America, which is to say it sucks. I don't know what the cost of living in France is, but it's probably no less than America, maybe more. I really don't know. I've never been to France. I have no desire to go to France, but that is not very much money. That needs to be overhauled in the United States. It never will be. It needs to be overhauled in France, obviously, but it never will be. The problem is, especially with somewhere like France, the Scandinavian countries, any of these countries that have all these social programs, you pay a lot for those social programs, whether or not you qualify for them. And when you retire, you would expect to be taken care of by those programs, but you're not always taking care of them. So I can see their frustration. But as I've said about many things, here the whole Black Lives Matter thing and all the rioting in 2020 in America and all the rioting in history has changed nothing. Riots don't change anything. All they do, they call the wrong kind of attention to your cause. When you start tearing things up, people stop listening to your message and just start watching what you're doing. And it's sad that the French people don't see that there's a better way to do this. All the European countries claim to be smarter than Americans. They're not, but they claim that they are. They've never been able to care for themselves without our intervention. And I don't care how you feel about that. I don't care what you think about that. But if it wasn't for the United States of America, every country in Europe right now would be under socialist rule. Wouldn't be, well, I don't know, who knows what would happen. Hitler hated communism, even though socialism and communism are pretty closely tied together. The difference is the people and the state. But people need to learn how to take care of themselves. George W. Bush was ostracized for trying to privatize a part of Social Security, where people would would pay less into Social Security, still have a Social Security package waiting for them if they retired and they never did anything. But the idea was to take that money and let people invest it themselves, which you're going to generally do a lot better. Thanks to the Democrats now. If they were to start doing that now, they'd be ruined. But that's what he was trying to do, is trying to get people to understand that you can do better taking care of yourself than you can letting the government take care of you, because the government's not going to take care of you. They're going to give you what they're going to give you, and they don't care about the rest of it. They don't care that my mom retired and at 65, and I believe she might have been a little older than that, but I believe she was getting about $1,000 a month, and then she was able to get some of my stepdads. They'd been divorced for a long time. She was able to get a little bit of his too, just like wives, spouses do with road retirement. On your tier 2, they get a portion of that. But it wasn't much. Mom made it work, but it wasn't much. So these people in France and any other country in the world, because the global economy right now is in dire straits, and all these countries that have been offering all these programs, thinking that taxes were going to take care of it all, that's not working out. And that is another point that we always try to make, we conservatives always try to make, that raising taxes does nothing. You need private investment. Things need to be privatized. And there again, George Bush tried to do that. And of course, you had the Ed Asners and all these other buttheads. Oh, he wants to starve senior citizens. He wants to kill senior citizens. He wants to see them die. No, he wanted to see them do better and do better for themselves. But the simple fact is, especially in America, I can't speak for Europe, people in America, if you give them the opportunity to, if you take $50 out of their check instead of $100, they're just going to go blow that 50. Most of them aren't going to invest that money. They're just going to, it doesn't matter how little money they make or how much money they make. If they get a little more money in their pocket, they're just going to go spend it. And hey, that might not have helped their future, but it would have stimulated the American economy. But people generally aren't going to save money. That is not, that is no longer human nature. It used to be, but it's not anymore, especially in America. But anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the deal going on in France. And remember, in England a few years ago, they did the same thing when they reduced the amount of benefits that were going to the people receiving pensions, government-funded pensions at that time. Riots, same kind of thing. Anytime you try to take money away from people or not give them more money if they're asking for it, this is what happens now. And it's insane, but it's the way things are. Start taking care of yourself. Count on yourself and stop counting on the government. And I wish more Americans would listen. They're trying to get all that kind of stuff going in America, and no one's listening right now. And I fear that it may be too late for that not to get a foothold here. But the one thing that I do think about America is we're not afraid to fight for things when it gets bad. Right now, it's not that we're afraid to fight for things. We just have a couple of generations of pussies, people who don't want to fight. They just want to sit around and play video games, watch TikTok, and make YouTube videos. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and I'll see you all later.